Hello everyone and welcome to Game 4 in a series between Liquid Huck versus Moon. Game 4 taking place on Crevasse. So we have Huck spawning on the bottom left hand side of the map as the red Protoss player. Meanwhile, we have Moon spawning here as the blue Zerg. So this is going to be Zerg versus Protoss once more. No one changing up their strategies or their styles. And I'm curious to see if Moon still goes for Pool Extractor or if he's going to have a different build on Crevasse. Crevasse, it does give you this high ground expansion here. This is a rich Vespene Geyser, so it would make sense to try to build the hatchery up here, get some earlier Zerglings, and then mine off of the rich Vespene Geyser, as it does release 6 gas or return 6 gas per trip instead of 4. Back over here, currently Liquid Huck still mining away. We are going to have a pylon being built over here, and it looks like it will have a gateway, cybernetics core, and then a zealot sitting right there as the probe now making its way up the ramp and will have scouted in the correct direction, quickly finding Moon at the top left hand side of the map. Moon still not showing his hand just quite yet, continuing to power drone, no buildings, only has an overlord in the air that's different at all, and Huck once again trying to be a little bit of an annoyance and trying to constantly harass and making sure that that probe does delay the mining of those minerals. And you can see how effective that one particular probe is at trying to just delay the mining, and Huck's poor probe working so hard to try to mine minerals and mining those minerals and then not even picking them up. So the probe now deciding to finally back off, and no, not backing off yet. We are going into an extractor or a pool extractor once more. So even though there is this high ground expansion location here, it doesn't look like Moon really wanted any part of that. You can see the probe now finally backing off. Zerglings are going to be trained up. We will get to around, I guess, 40 gas this time around, as Huck getting a very, very strong economy going with this second nexus on the high ground. He should be able to just transfer the probes over and get a nice economic lead. You can see a forge and a gateway now currently being warped in. A pylon also being warped in here. So we should be getting some cannons up in just a moment. You can see the spawning pool about to get ready to go ahead and about to start that metabolic boost. Wait for it. Wait for it. Is it going to start? Okay, so it looks like it will be starting in just a second. Yeah, finally pulling off those drones and now starting that metabolic boost, and also going for a hatchery first. This hatchery on the low ground, so Moon doesn't see the hatchery, so that is huge. Huck doesn't see that. Huck doesn't see Moon's hatchery, so that is huge. And what that is going to allow Moon to do is he will be able to mine off of 8 or 16 mineral patches and the benefit of 2 Vespene Geysers, and also be able to macro up. But this hatchery is much more exposed, and it may get taken down. The rich Vespene Geyser assimilator about to be completed. Probe's going to be transferred into there very, very quickly, and Huck will be able to mine with a 50% bonus on these 3 probes, essentially mining as efficiently as 4.5 probes, or having 2 hatcheries up. And oh, what is this? He canceled his hatchery and now making his way off north. He can see that the expansion is being built over here, and I don't know what Moon's trying to do. I don't think his opponent really saw Huck really saw that second hatchery, so he didn't really cancel it of any surprise tactics, as we are now going to have this one set of destructible rocks perhaps get taken down by those roaches, as the photon cannon doesn't have enough range to take down these rocks. These rocks are rather large. I believe the distance is beyond 4, or I think it's a distance of 4, so the roaches should be able to come back over here, attack the destructible debris without taking any damage. But there are 4 photon cannons, so that is a lot of static defense. These destructible rocks over here do not have any armor, so they're going to get taken down rather quickly. This set of rocks has an armor of 1 and only 1,000 hit points, so this is not your standard set of rocks at all. The Zerglings will be able to take them down very, very quickly, as down goes those rocks. We are now getting some roaches in combination as well, so perhaps going to try to push through on this front door, but Huck already well prepared and well established And now, oh, taking down his own set of rocks. So this might actually confuse Moon. Moon's going to try to push in and see that the rocks are already taking damage. So, yeah, you can see that the Roach is now trying to give a little bit of a hand here. Now trying to push up, getting some damage. One photon cannon may get taken down. The force fields are not going to really be able to do much. And now Moon backing off there. The Roaches do not have burrow. They're not going to be able to regenerate hit points at all, as this hatchery now finally being rebuilt, but Moon very far behind, only getting his second base up at the 7-minute mark, and it will be about at the 8-minute mark where he finally gets up that hatchery. He is behind in workers 21 to 37. And this is turning out to be very, very bad. Moon's army is not going to be able to break down this front door. There are simply too many photon cannons and just too many sentries, as those sentries would be able to trap those Roaches, keep them corralled, and then getting in a lot of damage. Huck definitely in the lead at this stage. He'll be able to just power, just macro up very, very quickly. You can see the Zerglings trying to push their way through, unable to do so. And you can, oh, what is this? This Cybernex core is going to actually be unpowered. And does that sentry actually have a room to maneuver through here? Yes, it does. So they will be able to make their way out in just a moment. The Roaches and Zerglings are going to be trying to push their way in. An Overlord now getting in some decent sight. He's going to see that Huck is going for a lot of gateways. And now, once again, powering up that Cybernetics core. A third base finally being established by Moon, but Moon still very far behind. 28 drones, 29 versus 44 probes. You cannot be that far behind. You cannot be behind on bases against a Protoss, and you cannot be behind on drones. Huck also having a lot of energy on that Nexus, finally deciding to start chrono boosting the level 1 weapons upgrade, and he'll be able to even chrono boost these warp gates to get units out much more quickly as well. You can see that the Stalkers and the Sentries are trying to push their way out. A Dark Shrine also being added. The Stalkers doing a good job of utilizing their superior range and superior movement speed, able to pick off Roach after Roach. The Roaches are trying to scamper home. It doesn't look like Moon's going to be able to really do much, as the Stalkers are now once again in retreat, as the Zerglings are trying to pick them apart. There's a force field, but kind of missing. If he was able to capture those Zerglings, a counterattack would most likely ensue in just a moment. Moon now trying to get his way back into this game. He's now up to 40 drones compared to 47, and now power droning 9 more. You can see Huck also establishing his third base. Over here, another queen should be starting to tend to this hatchery as well, being able to just produce more drones rather quickly, as the Zerglings making sure to take down those rocks and try to connect the bases as well. We are getting that additional queen. Taking a look at the armies, the Protoss army of Huck, just so much larger in both minerals and gas, and without any spore crawlers and no tech to tier 2. I believe those Dark Templars are just going to walk straight into the base and have their way with those drones. So one Dark Templar in each base already. You can see the Dark Templar now going after some of those units, not going after, for some reason, the drones. Meanwhile, back over here, this one Dark Templar already up to 3 kills, 4 kills, 5 kills, and yeah, there's the GG. Moon not really standing a chance at all. So yeah, this is going to be a best of 5 series, and game 5, I believe I will end up casting and put up on Machinima Realm a little bit later. So for those of you guys who watch me religiously, the game will be up on Friday, June 23rd, sometime in around 3 in the afternoon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening as we see a final game 5 in this best of 5 series.